I'd like to take the advantage of the regional director, Asada Miyakawa's presence here today to flex some specific issues of interest for reinforcing and recalibrating our future cooperation with ILO. First, I would hope that ILO would give enhanced focus on supporting our government and social partners for the rapid transformations that are taking place in the world of work due to climate change, digitization, artificial intelligence, and other factors. We would like to see ILO taking a future-leaning approach in supporting our long-term development aspirations in lieu of resorting to short-term project-driven engagements and carried out through hired expertise. Second, we'd like to see ILO take a more vocal stand in favor of upholding fundamental rights at work for migrant workers. Our Secretary of Parliamentary Affairs already mentioned it. The regional office, migrant workers around the world, with Asia being an important source of migrant workers, the regional office here should impress this issue upon the leadership in ILO headquarters and its Tripartite constituents. It is unfortunate that the international trade union bodies often pay nothing more than lip service for protecting the rights and interests of migrant workers. Migrant workers are development partners. They are human beings and they need protection from injustice. This third issue that I have, we have seen in the past ILO taking up projects with different public and private sector entities, bypassing the core tripartite structure, which should not ideally be the case. Any project undertaken in consultation with any other ministry should be reported on a regular basis to the Ministry of Labour and Employment, and should be premised on the tripartite consultative mechanism. We count on ILO to align its work with our national development strategies and not be guided by a donor-driven agenda or other interest. Fourth, ILO projects need to be geared at building national and local level capacities by strengthening our concerned oversight and regulatory bodies. We notice a tendency for ILO to carry out tasks through its own personnel, which often fails to leave a sustainable impact on the national and local institutions. We wish to see that ILO as a partner in capacity building and not to overlook local realities. Fifth, ILO is expected to act as a UN agency and appreciate the dynamics of national or local narratives and aspirations. It is part of our history that Bangladesh, like many other developed countries, have had experienced some gravely tragic incidents in our labor sector, even till recently. As a nation with a resilient spirit, it is our continuous effort to learn from those tragedies and overcome the structural and systematic constraints underlying those incidents. We would urge ILO to join us in such forward-looking efforts without dragging us into the unfortunate past that otherwise only helps serve some vested national and international interests and agenda. I have publicly made these observations in the spirit of our constructive engagement with ILO and in our mutual interest. I would reiterate that our government remains willing to facilitate appropriate course corrections in the labor and employment sectors in response to our socio-economic context at any given time. We'd, however, expect our relevant international partners, including ILO, to acknowledge the value of local level knowledge and insights without taking a one-sided perspective approach that one model fits all. Finally, please don't use labor weaknesses, if there be any, as a tool to achieve political gains, rather than try to help and assist to overcome those weaknesses with generous support and financing. Ladies and gentlemen, we remain convinced that without a productive workforce employed in a decent work environment, it would be a challenge for us to realize our Vision 2041. I would therefore like to conclude by reassuring our social partners and friends from ILO that our government will sustain the momentum of reforms in the labor sector, building on our shared achievements and experiences in the last 50 years.